Howdy, this is Eric Johnson with Cicada Paranormal with another Spirit News broadcast, a weekly Spirit News broadcast, something like that, right? Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. How's that, huh? I'm going to be using, as usual, the AD2 on a tablet. Ghost box session, double blind. That's where I'll be listening to this. Now just put the headphones in. As long as you agree with me, that's good. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. Oh, time for the peanuts. Dude, I could do this. Hi, Uncle Tom. What's up? It's poison. I'm accepting this. In humanity, he's the poet today. He's the classic Christian, and he reflects on Dr. Joel in the prophecy. Twitter arose today. Another devil, he materialized, and in a slow, and it struck him. Let me lay it out, especially in the one that you plainly led this thing. It's just study Latin today? Yes, a little bit. The time will come when the Father will focus on these astronauts, and it's almost time for his arrival. And you have to take the chapel and assemble thumbs up the power and these sinners. It looks like when faith he brought through it. A switcheroo for the Monday night. You never tune the Boy Scout, and that's what can happen in the first place. The difference is it's more than a Christian in God would reflect in here. Dr. Joel, what do you ask? You're proof, Daddy, for $5 in this system. It's in you. The Savior is created the law in us, and we circle the sovereignty, and it induces the sanity. This will be sure in this one, in this world. It's good to say that you could arrive, dear. Wasn't just listening. Boom. He needs to drink more power, and in the vaccine, he risks it. There'll be 2 next week. Who's on my planet? I'm checking on my information. God moved this in a spokesman, and the Boy Scout is not. In the first place, I could stop this. The difference is there's a lot of movement in the genetics today. There's something in the identity. It's calling, and it's reflecting bad in the wallet. The requirements, my son, face it. It's so important that you put it out there, and this is coming between us. In the American restaurant today, there's something that switches the brain in Mars here, and we're kidding. We're trying to complete something in Jeff here in this men's world. Briefly, are you ready for this? Chris, you know, that's room. He's laughing. Robert, I'll take a chase.com. Real fast. You stop the signal, and the commission's, Dave's trying his best. Quick thought, hurry. He's able to browse. And 20. It's been his grave. The doctor left. He wants to report to the psycho. Hang on. Darling, you're my lucky button. Come here. Hello? He's on my planet. Just outside. There's 10 Habit. Did you know, for another stupid thing, get a grip. Sergeant is thinking, the broadcasting. They're silently seeking these injuries, and I'll serve it up. All this. These bad, they like to run him down? Cremate him. And indicted him. He cremated it. Hang on. He loved it. They take a chance. He's transforming. Hang on. He's well. In the chemical drain, 24/7. Okay, what's up? The lens changed. It's on him. Is he transducing? He needs his homework. Thaddeus. And house life. And apply, shrieking his thoughts. And count the prints how it moves in Chris when it comes through and these things, and it shouts through. Okay, and you will think, dance to what this thing, stop it. And courteous in time, it's the differences in the Father. Sometimes he has to be a prophet, and he has to drop in. First, I'd like to mention about a lot of things that he's doing. He's sacrificing these things. If you're noticing, the God is coming and visiting. When he comes around, the natural immunity becomes a topical issue. And the conversation he gives us is all in us, and it's pure. And identity. Why do you got to be so difficult? Hold on to this, Superman. It's Bush. I would like to show you that the message is good for the people who are going through this in the courts. If doctors don't really agree, gee, look at him. He's holding this. There he goes again. The plaintiff wants to join in, and it freezes us. It's difficult, affirmative, except for our LOL. Have you ever had $2 when you're broadcasting all this? Okay, we'll put that one down there. Okay, and he said, it's really, you can see into it. It's wonderful. Check it out. Check last week he said the same thing. And the brain, there's a signal in Twitter, it's lacking. I admit in this CIA thing, whatever you apply, you take the prophecy into the Savior and the power hours here. Let me lay it out. The old goat system is slapping on the ears. And if you're formally business, yes, if you take thought in this, if you plainly lay it out, Jeff will show you the actual criminal on the touch. He's busy forthcoming to this south of the geographical states. You're going to take and browse and visit, and you're going to move on faith. And when it comes time, the doctors will praise God and thumbs up, and you're going to learn a lesson. And he's changing the cases on this, and that's what can happen in the first place. Get out! All right, this is the difference is you're living in more than a thing called a Christian here, and these people, their requirements are on sale. Yeah, if you ask in you to pray in me, you lay it out with proof. The speaker has the topical issues, and the circle of sovereignty will retain these vandals. Son, okay. One night they do what they like. Okay, thedoctors.com. Hang on, the extra life. I realize, and the point is negative in this criminal. This ancient takeaways in these things. I'll agree with him. I'll take the risk in the mind. Watch the end fast. Who's on my planet? Are you a prison farmer? He's not going. His like to get out. Come on in. Does the Lord ask humanity to eat soap? He's munching it. Hang on. My son, it is so important whether you like to pronounce the peanuts or not. It's I'll search and rescue or put it forth the fortitude. Good bars. All right, here we go. These vandals, man, they're in trouble. They take so much from the Savior, and they twist it, and you've lost it. This information and your identity, dear Robert. I risk those voices and those ancient aliens, and if I had a friend that was most powerful in here, like God, and I'd stick to him. But the servant is blowing his nose on the graves. Hang on, that's good for my information. At least, see, there's an effect in the Boy Scout, and he's on my planet, and you could say that he might be causing some of these genetics today. I'll be putting it on, and that act with respect, its calling and self. Man, it's like in his brain here. What's up? Is it giving the landlord the magazine? Hang on. We think he's chemical free for the longest, and what he eats, love the lenses, and the arrival immediately will move and sense that there be polar. How it's trying to tried the outbreak on the technology and playing on the thoughts here, and they're in self. The signal was asking. I'm checking back again. Hang on. He molested it. Hang on. He's going in again. Boy, search and rescue. But it's not brought to us in this movement. Get a grip. Should really taste it. It's so. And the father, ever since are you browsing? All this. No. God. Gee, look. There's a thing in the conversation there. It's being shunt. You have to learn. Just outside. I'm kidding. I'll show you this Memorat. Only when it's simple with David. And he has faith. And he's laid back. In self, he thought that the speaker was being in the Irish collection. You could be the best in the geographical. It leaves us a miracle. Two LLs. He's browsing these things and the interceptors. It says, "You're my lucky button. Come here. Get you." Your thoughts are similar in that it's like if you with the beer drinkers. Another thing. It's absolutely not a variation in a guess to make some cash while serving all this in here. Power hours here. Let me lay it out. In these lies, the interceptors are easy to mislead, and you can train others, self, in the headlines that it's not criminal, that they like to take things that you resist and change in the report, but they need to know how to treat you in self. And it's in this vaccine. It's a growing immunity. If you could join in, I could serve this and it could show you all day. It's like peanuts today. Shout them out fast. They aren't calling in thumbs up, farmer. Okay, it's just poison. Money wouldn't work with faith in the identity classic crap. We don't know a thing about what you've lost. And these requirements in self, it's all a guarantee of what's going on here. Okay, Daddy. The $65 to get through to these things. And it dances with this miscreant. I'm trying. I'm dying here. It's killing me. And he's laughing. These foolish astronauts. I've realized that last thing he's had an ad. And I'm trying to play it out. Hang on. You stop this. You just stop there. Drink away, Senator. Negative. He's like, it's stopped with the doctor. It leaks radar for weeks in the genetics for 100 years. Spooked in the thoughts. We've never had thoughts of changing into these blind under that Jeff's washing this place. Bees and the difference is he's busy. And you need to think about this person who's in charge. Also, it's so purposeful. Well, everything's on sale now. Well, it's so important that you browse these things from the bad thing. He's cleaning us. Marlon Brando, indicted. In the 60s, you know, it was good. Good Mars. The Dead Sovereignty of God. I'm James Count, and in self and brain, a year after what I might believe in these things that have spooked us and shaped the world in the natural science, and you are the author of all these things. No peeking! It's called Ancient Alliances. I pleasured these doctors that don't lie, and you's on my planet. It's not like, go get him! He's got, no, you're connected. I told him not to burn those, and then he did it. And the intestines, you know, sometimes in God it causes a Christian to say things that could change your hands. Admit it, you're just seducing the awkward, and the doctor, okay, you're going to take that thing and put it in the guillotine. Switch your act, and man, these things, and they go forth into the restaurant and the old goat system. The difference is, I'm formerly in the survivalist, and this brain freeze. You know, Chris, that's a big boom when you did that and processed it. The fourth coming with these peanuts, and the signals that are coming through since September 11th are definitely a part of what the doctors, who's on my planet? These doctors are into the genetics, and it's a change. And if you like this in the first place, it's a pleasure. The difference is you take thought about the things that you're a farmer on. Dad, Jeff's trying to show up. Hang on, we're blessed. Yeah, good. Okay, it's so important that you fix that act. Man, you're a good servant, but hello, in the American restaurant chain and good bars. Dang, it's his habit. Gosh, it strikes him. Chemical free. What in the world? Yes, indeed. You've lost these ladies, and the science, in a sense, that dear Robert, he's got captions in your body, and the signal comes through. And I've had friends that agree with the Christians, and in God, and you're stuck up, and don't lie, in humanity, to blowing his nose in the graves. Again, the doctors will not report back to the stewardess. I'm sorry. Are we on an airplane? What's up? What? Who's on my planet? It's in his intestines, and he's connected. In this room, I'd like to admit that it's the Muslims. Hang on, it's an angry change in God right quick. Eat himself. Eat what respect in us. You take the risk, and the old goat can be applied. Affirmative. In these magazines, and to 24 in Latin, and these guys in Germany and Europe, they're stuck up. There's something wrong with them. They're poisoned. What do these commies want? And through the signal, I'm trying to agree with him that he's being warned about claiming his thoughts, and they're going to visit, and the son is going to be in the signal, and he's going to report back into this information, and I'd love to keep it modern. Go ahead. This week is part of what you have told them, and it won't be in the genetics, so don't be a poser. We're already awkward peeper seekers, awkward silent peeper seekers, and these people are idiots. Listen, if you want to talk, prevent them from receiving what God has given us. Affirmative. Well, with this news, it's part of what broadcasting will be left behind. Dude, I don't know what to do. They're like diamonds, each one. David is not going to stop. Leave us. In the modern age, it's coming in. He was ready in the high speaker, and but there might be found in him in the circle of sovereignty. Chris, he crosses the room. He's just standing there with his cherubim with this information. Is God safe? Yes, in time. He's not wounded. He plainly explained his identity today, and he's with Jeff today. Eventually, these idiots will give up to God, and it's a modern love with the spokesman, and they're perfectly to the conversation, and it's in the brain. What might be so lost, and give it to Bush. What he likes to show you is a message that's plain to the point, and it's so incredible and laid back that it's for you to say that the hot dogs are part of the vaccine was like a Muslim taking the body and leaving us. And ISIS is the status of what reports through, 2 LOLs, and if the word was to come in and you would put your thoughts on this, and the function would reveal that they are paper me. So they had Islam and Christianity. It doesn't work like that. Pray these vehicles will stop. These things are outbreak. It's an outbreak. They're not well. They're not well. Get out of my reality. Burn! put forth on the underbend. If you resist time and self, you started this. So I risk everything on how to treat you. We're growing in faith in this power. It's the best. We think that when he smiles, it's part of what the government's storing, backing it up today, psychotrops. What you're going to tell me is that they are with the Boy Scout. And did you know this is poison? This money, it'll charge classic crap just outside. In self, underground, he reflects with all these injuries, and through the CIA, we broadcast all this, and it's indicted and changes color. And it must rock you, Jeffrey, induce this. 40 negative. You've got married to these guys one night, and the landlord is liking this. He sees these are foolish astronauts, and he's like, oh, they got my attention. Jeff, what are you going to do with these guys? Oh, what are you saying? These crazy are trained. He fractured them already. They're conservative. These are your pets. They're just... Well, I'll just say that's what can happen when he's listening to us in the first place. He stops, and sometimes the difference is plain, more than a government can see in a Christian here. The movement is part of... it's nice outside, and it reflects in the condition. Then the room will act, and he's cleaning us. Face it, for $5, the dream comes through. He solved this next week, and the circle of sovereignty will induce this. He's getting this. A chemical freeze is insurance on the Lord, on recounting what these foolish astronauts are, and we're blessed. I can stand the difference, and tonight we're rocking through this, and I'm on strike. So boom, on this European, and join in. So who's on my planet? Me. Yeah. He's checking on this and the origin of this. Hang on. He risks this. My soul. Why is it always... not yet. Oh. It's got to be safe into your body. Don't worry. Just admit. Don't seduce that. No. I'm angry. You're supposed to just speak to it. Let's see. Don't seduce. No. That's right. No. It's all part of what you're doing in your training there. It keeps you up on your .com, and he's going to learn Latin, don't worry. The way that Michael is receiving and processing this information right now is chemical-free, affirmative. And Chris is creating the rooms here, and the actual brain thoughts that are projected through. And he's doing it solo, and he's trying, and through this signal, and it's changing. And hey, these are all legal. And he trumps through, and the doctor's priest, if it's been his grave, hey, Count, are you reporting? He's finding interceptors in this life, and that are trying to change the field of what he's projecting. And what Paul is pushing into his identity is faint, and it's different. This super stupid Asylum Seeker, he lost it. Are you a part of this? Damn you! Is that creep? The time will come when 60s will revisit, and this Jeff, the chemicals will be in self 24/7. It's not like transducing. It'll be from God, and you have to watch from the lens. Okay, what kind of evil? Peanuts, charms. Oh, the house is life. And I agree with him. I didn't want you to know about those thoughts. Things are just, don't lie. His brains are in the signal, and they come through, and you're going to print it out in the body, and you'll be able to afford it now. It's just, sounds old, but when God comes through with this identity in God, it induces us more. And it's more advanced, and it ultimately begins leading us. Yep, there you go. Ever since this interceptor's got God and 14 that's been moving through him in action. He received the conversation, and he's the man that will resume. He thinks of this, and it's topical. It's not falling behind. I'll show you. Look, what's up? It's going through faith. I don't like it with all this things. Are you sure? Leave us. I'm sorry. Might be the Speaker's House collection and the ghost. Well, I agree with him. In these things, Ice Christian, and I don't leave in this. Grocery stores are just putting out the prints and the safety, and there's a lot of us in there, and you're going to take this in identity in this modern movement and the time. It will be in this federal portion in the humanity. You're treating your body with these identities, and it's advanced to lead, and you need more vitamins. And well, I guess in this thing in his house, and when he moved tonight, and this spokesman tonight, boring. And the conversation is moving, and I say that. And the farmer, on September, the difference is it's part of what Bush used to show you. You got my attention with that. If the people that you don't stop to back it up. Okay, he's growing fast. Hang on. And the servant, you're pleasing us. It's difficult to be in this prison. Thought out. Oh, the home of the peanuts. $2 for my information. He's just messing with you. He continues to mention this, and it takes the risk. And when you burn, he take his paper money to the genetics today. Deliberation of these. And they caution your wallet on these things and these bad acts. And you have to, like it or not, the government will appear indicted. The power hours here as the locals on, they love God and the drug induced. And it's the old goat brain switches chemical free. He is formerly the person shouting out Tom in the headlines. And they're putting her on for you to tune in, and it's fragile into these thoughts. It's forthcoming into the tree trunk, and they're drinking, and in faith, whence technology learns to circle and take over what we need in thought, and not these today. This information is baby, it's baby food, and we've been poisoned and lost since this money has crippled us, and this government and the non-professionals have taken over the world, and they've lost track of inside of self, and it fractures. CIA daddy, and they just might lie. Hang on. A Muslim, he's calling. What is it? Jeffrey induced. Hang on, the goat, and the brain, and the name. He had Superman. He got married to these guys one night, and the identity. And these foolish astronauts are realizing that, dude, I didn't know what the... Man, this guy would... take Jeff. Take a number. That one. Chris, what are you doing? Hi, Chris. Alright, we're at 28 minutes. Okay. Thaddeus! This radar is on him. Hang on. This stupid information will apply to Jeff. He's not... He'll be less spooked than Psycho Trump. So, in God, that's what happened in the first place. You will be blessed. You promise? Yes. The difference is that you're injured today, and then without you, the founding fathers would be on sale. And we're grateful for these injuries. And we're not priests, we're peanuts. So we'll switch them back, Mars, okay? Anytime. That was because you've tried to study your Latin today, and you're the best. So, boom! In the dream, he's the vandal. To the body, he takes back things. Did I do it? I don't know. Say that next week. Next week. Out of all the systems, the point says that you've got what the ancient ability is pushing, and these dead doctors are doing it. Yes. Okay. They're saying he's the best. So who's on my planet? He can't stand the status. The prospectors. Okay, and they all turned him on. Now let's check this out. It's a coincidence to this world that this brain is not a beer drinker. Get out! Okay, self-censored. Calling into the bad connection for you here. Hang on. Let me take one of these calls. Hang on. Hello? I seduced him. Hang on. He's trying to get through. This restaurant. He prayed. Good, Mars. I feel that the beast has copying the system in these 43 systems. And they're vandals, and they're against the Savior and the criminal. You know, you've lost this room, and dear Robert, but they were devils, yes, and these ancient aliens, and they were a high risk. But Johnson will be able to throw them all out. He's Superman. They can't touch him. So in line they will wait. Take a number. Ah, you stupid. Beep 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 beep. Cussing them. What's up? It's started. Okay. All right, that's 30 minutes right there. All right. All right. Woo. Okay. Well, there you go. I hope that was good. I hope that worked out. I hope something good came out of that. Because that scrambled my brains there. Just, wow. But it's... Alright, well, there you go. There's your weekly Spirit News broadcast update for you there. And it's been Eric Johnson with Cicada Paranormal. And I hope you like that. Subscribe and thumbs up and share it with others. And let me know what you think. And if you have questions, I'm going to start doing some answering questions. And I'll give you a shout out. Shout you out for your question. And then we'll see how that works out. So if you got any questions you want to ask these guys, you'd be asking your same mind spirits those questions, but advanced. So there's a little difference here, and these things have been very helpful to me in mind, and they are advancing from what it sounds like, because their conversations are rapidly advancing, and so that's the way it goes. So thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Bye bye.